The man threw his hair-cutting wife into the lake for 7 days and 7 nights. He went out with Bai Yueguang to talk about love, a woman who is loyal to her husband. The next day, he packed up his luggage and left the house of the scum. Then sit on the wedding car of the Crown Prince of Hong Kong and drive him home. It turned out that this scene was just seen by the husband across the street. He thought he was blind, because he believed that his wife, who loved him like her life, would never leave him. 3 years ago, the man was so worried that he would take her home. Everyone envied him flying up his head to become a phoenix. But I don't know if this sweetness has only lasted for 3 years. The man has fallen in love with another grey girl. This day, Bai Yueguang disappeared completely without a trace. The man tied his wife's parents directly, forced his wife to hand over her own happiness. But the woman really didn't know where her heart was hidden. He knelt down and begged the man to let go of his parents. But he cut his head. The man was still unmoved. Just as he walked away, the man's father called in. This time, he agreed to break up with the man without hesitation, and promised to kick off the wedding to the Shijia family in Hong Kong. Completely cut off the man's face. The next day, he went home with bruises all over his body. I heard that the man was looking for Bai Yueguang. Almost turned the whole Nanchang over. The mercenaries saw the wind and the stone. The woman ridiculed Mrs. Jiang's head. But it's already unreasonable bullying. The woman listened and laughed. It's just because Mrs. Jiang is also a fake. It turned out that the old man had determined that his son was not a light. So he made a bet with the woman. If the marriage of the two can last for 5 years, then fulfill them. The day of the wedding, the man was facing the fake evidence and he was still blind. The promise is always loyal to him. It's only been 3 years now. He lost half of his disciples. The woman was as sharp as a knife. Tear apart the marriage certificate of that radish Zhong Gaicheng. Then sold off the luxury goods that men gave him in these years. The mercenaries looked at him and laughed at him. He's really sold out? Does he really think he's getting what he wants? When he's out of clothes, there will be a time for him to cry. It's none of his business. Let's wait and see. Then the woman dug up Shu Yuanping buried under the tree. At that time, the man said he was going to dig it out in 10 years. Witness their irrefutable love. It's a pity he can't wait. Wait for him to deal with this. Bai Yueguang is going to stop him from leaving, claiming that men have been watching him all these days. Where a man is, there is love. What do you have to compete with me on? The woman didn't want to fight with him, but the white moonlight didn't spare. Pretend to be pushed into the water by the woman. Want to test the man's sincerity with this? Well, the man decided that his wife was not in a good mood. Not only did he ask his wife to apologize, he also pledged to apologize to his wife. He promised to give her a big castle as a gift of apology. The woman quietly watched her husband perform. She kept telling herself not to be sad, because men are not worth it at all. The next second, the man ordered the bodyguard to throw his wife into the water, to make her feel the taste of drowning. A woman who can't swim struggles hard in the water. She kept telling herself, "Don't fall in love with such a scumbag in the future." The woman came home after waking up. Her husband gave her a black card as compensation, and told her that she and Bai Yueguang were just playing. "I'll go home when she's done." But she didn't know that the man had just left. The woman cut off her black card. Then she took her luggage and left the house where she had lived for 3 years. At this time, the man who had just left saw a row of wedding cars heading towards her villa. Wow, who's taking the bride's car? What a big show. This is a car from Hong Kong. I don't know which daughter is going to marry into Hong Kong. He wouldn't have dreamed that this was to borrow his wife. When the luxury car was on its way, the man happened to see Bai Yueguang's friend circle. He knew he wanted a pair of bridesmaids' handkerchiefs. "I'll just give you a hand. Wait here." Stop at the intersection in front. At the traffic light intersection, He decisively got out of the car and casually knocked on the window of the car opposite, intending to ask the bride for a bouquet of flowers. No, I can't let him mess up.